Welcome, girls. I'm just going to be putting together a quick video on some of the different exercises from our summer workout plan, in case you aren't sure what any of these things are, and then also to make some notes about form or how you might be able to adjust them based on where you're working out. So pretty much everything you can do from home, you can do it inside, outside, whatever. I think until we get into the later weeks, there might be one section that involves running where you might need some more space, but for the beginning portions, you can definitely do it all inside. So I'm going to start with weeks 1 through 3 and just go through what that looks like. So we'll be working in supersets, which means you'll have basically 2 exercises and you'll do them back to back and finish all of the sets in those 2 items before moving on to your next superset. So if you see A1, A2, you're completing all your sets of A1 and A2 back to back, and then you're moving on to B1, B2. So to start out with week 1, what you'll need is maybe like a chair or something that you're able to sit on and put your weight on. A1 is going to be starting out with a single leg box squat. So in the first 3 weeks, we're going to be working on generating some strength. For hockey players, a lot of our strength comes from our quad muscle, which is that front muscle on your leg. This is where we're generating a lot of our skating pushing power. So a lot of single leg movements are really helpful to build that quad strength. So starting with the single leg box squat, you're going to have a chair, something that you're able to sit on. And the lower it is, the harder it's going to be. So feel free to challenge yourself. If you want, you can also hold a weight. So I have a couple of water bottles. If you have dumbbells, kettlebells, anything heavy, whatever, you can hold that in front of you as a weight as well. And you're essentially just going to be on one foot, lowering down till you're sitting, and then driving up. So you should be feeling that drive through your quad muscle. So do 2 of your sets just fully on one leg, and then your other 2 sets on your other leg. So you don't have to be trying to do multiple, using both your legs in the same sets. For A2, so after you finish one set of that, you're going to go into just a regular old push-up. I don't think they say this enough at Athlete Lab, but adjust it as necessary. You don't have to be out here doing a full regular push-up. If you need to go to your knees, that's fine. If you want to use like an elevated push-up, let's say you have a couch or something you can lean on, you can do a push-up like this. That will also make it a bit easier. There's no shame in doing a push-up from your knees. I would rather you do better form and get more range of motion than struggle trying to do a regular push-up. A lot of girls you'll see have their arms like way out and their hands are kind of inward and they're just kind of going like this. That's not really helping a whole lot. Try to work on getting your arms a little bit closer to your body. Like I said, if you need to go to your knees, go to your knees. Your hands should be pointing forward and then getting full range all the way down into your push-up. So that's basically your first superset. You'll alternate those 2 things. And then once you're done with those sets, you're going to move on to B1, which is a single leg deadlift or an SLDL. For these, it's going to require a bit of balance. You should be feeling it in your hamstrings, so your muscle on the back of your leg. Again, you can hold weight for these if you'd like. So if you have a dumbbell or something, you can go ahead and hold that weight. You're going to be on one leg and you're just going to be extending down. You should be feeling that here, a stretch, and then back up. So coming down and back up. So like I said, it requires a little bit of balance. If you need to stabilize yourself, that's fine. You can, like you said, hold the weight or do it with just body weight. And then for our B2, you're going to get your chair out again, or if you have like a coffee table or something, that would be good too. And we're going to do tricep dips. So for these, you want to have your hands on your chair and you're going to try and keep your body close to the chair. You want your body close to your arms. So you're just dipping down and driving up. You should feel that through your tricep muscle, which is back here on the back of your arm. To make it harder, you can elevate your legs if you have something else to put your feet on, or you can also put some weight on your lap. So if you have like some books or, like I said, a dumbbell or something, it's going to go down and up, tricep dip. That's going to be your B superset. And then as we get into C, we're going to work in some core. We're going to start with the bird dog. So this is from your hands and knees. taking your opposite arm, opposite leg, and extending out. Opposite arm, opposite leg. If you want to make this harder, you can also elevate so that you are on your toes off of your knees. Again, going to require more balance and coordination, and also work your core a little bit more. Then for our last thing, we'll be doing a plank transition. So you can start from either your forearms or your hands, and we're just up and down. So for those ab exercises, you'll be doing those on a timed sequence instead of counting reps. And that is it for your first week of workouts. As we get into week 2, we're going to be doing some different items. So the first one is not a superset of multiple items, it's just one thing. And I'm calling it lunging around the world. Again, getting into good single leg strength. You're essentially just going to be doing a variation of lunges in a circle to work on those quads. So starting out, whichever leg, whichever direction you want to go, we're going to start with a forward lunge. Then we're going to move into a lateral lunge. Then into a curtsy lunge, which is like stepping backwards, like this. Then into a regular reverse lunge. And then we're going to switch legs. Start with a reverse lunge on the other leg, curtsy lunge, lateral lunge, and a forward lunge. So you're going to do that 4 times around. Your legs will hopefully be burning a little bit by the end. Again, if you want to add weight, you can do kind of a goblet hold with your weight. Hold it like this. If you have 2 weights, you can do farmer's holds and have it like this at your side. Moving into our second superset, we're going to start with a step up. So again, you'll need a chair, something that's stable that you can step on. And I think we've done these at the gym. So you're just going to be placing your foot up here, stepping up. We're not jumping down or anything, it's just a step. Stepping up, stepping down. Again, you should feel that drive in your leg as you push up. All of the work should be coming from this leg and not from this leg kicking off the ground. It's more so from the power is coming from this leg to help you drive upwards. Getting into B2, we're going to do a tricep extension. There's a lot of different tricep exercises you can do, but this is one you can do pretty easily from home. So if you're laying down, you're gonna have your arms in front of you. You're kind of using your hands to dig into the ground, and you're pushing upwards, down, up. So again, you should be feeling that in your triceps here. If you want, again, if you have a dumbbell, you can do extensions this way, holding a dumbbell. You can also do them if you have like a good surface to kind of dip under. You can go like this and push up. If you have like TRX bands, whatever. So if you're doing something from a gym, there's a few different variations you can do. Then for our ab superset, we're going to start with reverse crunches. So laying down, you're going to have your legs up and you're crunching upwards. So you should be feeling that crunch in your abs. And then we're going to end with a Russian twist. You have your legs up in the air. You can cross them or not. And then you're twisting side to side, tapping your hand on the side. You can easily hold weight for that one, medicine ball, dumbbell, kettlebell, whatever you have for that one as well. Catch my breath a little bit. All right, getting into week 3, we're going to start with a Bulgarian split squat. I believe we've also done these at the gym. It's another good one to add weight if you have it. Again, you can goblet squat in front of you or farmer's carry. So you're going to start, and we're going to do just similar to the other ones where we're starting with one leg for one set. Have one leg behind you, find that right distance, and then we're extending down and pushing back up. So again, you want to make sure that you're able to get full range of motion and really get down into that squat. All right. Then from there, we are Going to do another push-up variation. Just like triceps, there's a lot of different types of push-ups you can do, and there's nothing wrong with just working on building up your regular push-up strength. So this one is called a leg up push-up. So you're just going to be doing a push-up again from your knees or not, and you're gonna have one of your legs extended upwards. And you're gonna keep it up the whole time. And then for your next set, you'll switch legs. For our second superset, we're gonna start with good mornings. This one is again for your hamstrings, so you'll feel it in the back of your legs. If you have weight, you can kind of hold it onto your shoulders. If you don't have weight, you can either hold your hands behind your head or kind of extend them upward. It's really just a hip hinge, so it's not going to feel like you're working a lot necessarily, but you should feel a good stretch in your hamstrings. So you're just going to hinge at your hips, let them come back. You should feel that right there, and then drive your hips forward. So again, if you're doing it with your arms up, you look like this. You can feel the stretch in my hamstrings, or if I'm holding weights, you do it like this and drive forward. Paired with your good mornings is going to be a front, side, rear raise. This one, it will be ideal if you have something to hold. Again, water bottles work if you're at home, light dumbbells. You can even use like canned goods. You have a couple cans of like tomatoes or something, whatever. So you're gonna start with a front raise, and we're gonna do 2 reps at each one. So 2 forward, then we're gonna do side raise, 2 this way, and then you're gonna get a little bit of a bend in your back, turn a little bit, get soft bend in your knees. We're gonna do a rear. So you should be, as you're doing the rear one, feeling a contraction between the top of your shoulders. So you should feel that in your back. So this will be a good one to work shoulders as well as back. So we're gonna go 2 forward, 2 side, 2 rear. The last one, and this is my husband Carl's favorite type of torture. I wanted to get him to demo it, but he did not want to. We're gonna call it alphabet abs. Essentially, you can have your arms back, you can have them under your butt, whatever you need. And we're just gonna do 1 round through. You're spelling the alphabet with your feet. So you should really feel challenged at this one at the end. So I'm going A, B, C, D, and I'm gonna spell it all the way through, trying to keep my core engaged as I do this. Again, if you need to have your hands under your butt for more support, especially if it hurts your lower back, or if you need extra support, go ahead and put them back here. And you're just gonna spell the alphabet out with your feet. So that's our first 3 weeks of training. Like I said in the note, try to do it at least once a week. If you can get it in 2, even 3 times a week, that's great. If you're working out at a gym or you have more equipment at home, feel free to modify any of these things, add weight to them. We're trying to build some of our strength up. The next few weeks, we'll get into some more like power exercises, including more jumping and things. And then the last couple of weeks, we will work on some, again, more power and leg strength that will help with our speed on the ice. I did also link a bunch of yoga videos if you want to do those on some of your days off. Those would be great just for stretching, opening up your hips. A lot of them are focused on that. Improving your flexibility with your ankles and your hips will help you as you go to skate and build up that stability. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, have fun working out. All right, we are out here for weeks 4 through 6, which I mentioned are going to be more about generating power and explosiveness, again, which will help us with our skating stride and speed. Starting out with week 4, we are going to begin with a tempo squat. So essentially, this is just going down on a 3 count and coming up on a 1 count. So we're getting in our good squat position. Legs are maybe a little more than shoulder width, toes slightly pointed out. We're going down, 1, 2, 3, 1. Explode up on that 1. Again, you can gobble it, hold some weight here if you want. 1, 2, 3, 1. Generating explosiveness on the way up. Our second item in this superset is going to be a vertical push-up. So essentially you're going to kind of be looking through your legs. You're going to be standing up as you do it. standing up kind of like this, and we are just driving down and up. So if you can kind of like touch your head to the floor, get it close to it, this will work more of your shoulders, almost like we're doing an overhead press. But if you don't have weights and stuff at home, it can be kind of hard to do overhead movements without it. So that will be a good option for you. Moving into our second set, we'll have a wall sit. I don't think I need to demo that. Just make sure as you're doing your wall sit, you're trying to get your legs at a 90-degree angle. If you can, don't be gripping your legs too tight. Allow your hands to either just be resting or hold them out or something in front of you. Our second item in that is going to be a clean and press. So if you do have access to a weight, much better. But again, you can use your heavy water bottle. If you have like a backpack full of stuff, you can grip the handles on your backpack, whatever. So we're essentially just going to be doing an alternating clean and press. That just means we're kind of exploding up from the ground, pressing it overhead, then we'll bring it back down, switch arms over. If you have two weights, you can do them at the same time. This way, I would probably not go all the way to the ground. I'd kind of extend down to like your knees, or exploding up. You're kind of flipping with your hips and then pressing overhead. Then to wrap up this workout with a little bit more ab and core work, we're going to do just a shoulder tap plank. So from your hands, you are planking, and then you're just going to tap your shoulders. Try to stay as stable as you can. You want your body to be a straight line. Don't want to see you up like this. Straight line. Trying to avoid twisting your body. You don't want to be like doing a shoulder tap like this. Keep your core tight to keep your body straight. Shoulder tap. The last one is going to be a plank lower rotation. So planking from our forearms. We are just going to be essentially rotating, kind of bumping our hip to the ground. So that should work a bit more of your side on your abs there. Moving into week 5, we are going to be starting out with a tempo push-up. So similar to the tempo squat, we are going down slowly and then exploding up. So in this case, I want you to go down on a 4 count. Again, go to your knees if you need to. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So exploding up at the top. Then this is an item I know we've definitely done at Athlete Lab. I might have to move the camera, I don't know, to demo this, but this would be good to do maybe outside if you have like a deck or steps or something. We're going to do a step down with a broad jump. So if you were stepping off of a, like I said, a deck step or something, do it from over here, but that won't be very easy to see. You're stepping down into a broad jump. So trying to jump as far forward as you can, and getting that step down and then powering through on your jump. Moving into our next superset, we're going to start with a single leg hip thrust. So you can do this as either like a single leg glute bridge or a hip thrust. If you have something to like lean against, this is going to be a bad example, but if you have like a chair or a couch or something and you can lean against it, I don't think I'm going to have enough stability unless I push this behind the deck. You can go up like this, or I can do it more as a glute bridge where I'm laying down and it's just one leg powering up. So we're keeping one leg down, one leg up, and we're exploding through that leg. You should be kind of squeezing your butt as you get to the top, and I should feel that through my quad and through my butt. We're going to finish that superset up with squat jumps. So pretty straightforward. You're squatting, jumping, squat, jump. Again, getting some of that explosive power to drive you upwards. To wrap this one up with our core work, we're going to do some renegade rows. Again, if you have dumbbells at your disposal, you're at a gym or something, you can do your plank from dumbbells. Otherwise, you can just do it from your hands. The renegade row is just pulling up, back and forth. Again, if you have dumbbells, as long as they have a flat side to them, you can kind of do your plank from the dumbbell and row upwards, and then you'll be able to get some extra activation in your back. The last one is a plank walkout or an inchworm. I'm just starting up, walking out into a plank, and walking back. So out and back, 1 rep. Same with the renegade row, each arm, that's 1 rep. Moving into week 6, we're going to start with either a box jump or a vertical jump. If you have something stable to be able to jump on, go ahead and use that. The biggest thing, again, they don't tell you this at Athlete Lab, please step down from your box jump. Don't jump down. You risk injuring your Achilles, which is here on the back of your leg, if you jump down. So if we jump up, pretend I'm jumping on this, we're stepping down, not jumping down. If you don't have access to something good to jump on, I don't really trust this chair, I'm just going to do a vertical jump. So just working on getting as high as I can. Kind of similar to a squat jump, but we're not necessarily needing to squat all the way down into it. The second item in this superset will be just a regular old glute bridge. So similar to the single leg one, but we're going to do it with 2 legs this time. Exploding up as we get into our glute bridge. So slow down and then explode up. If you have weight, you can hold a dumbbell here, kettlebell. Oh my God, kettlebell. Medicine ball. I was thinking that at the same time. Whatever, you can hold weight on your lap here as you drive up. Moving into our second superset, we're going to start with the goblet squat. This one I do recommend finding something to hold for weight to make it a little bit more challenging. Just a regular old goblet squat. We do this at the gym a lot, so you can hold a dumbbell, kettlebell, whatever. We're just squatting down, getting good range of motion again. If your squats look like this, it's not a very good squat. You guys should have young, mobile hips. So again, point your toes out a little bit, get all the way into your squat, and drive up. We're going to add in, for our second item, skater bounds. Hopefully I don't fall to my death on this deck, but essentially it's a 1-leg jump back and forth. So we're trying to drive and get a lot of power into those jumps. Going over and back is 1 rep. So again, getting some explosive power out of those jumps. The next one, for our final superset, we're going to start with a side lying hip abduction. This is probably something you guys haven't done before, and it can be kind of confusing to make sure you're doing it right. But you're going to start on one side. For your sets, just do 1 set on one side, the other set on the other side, back and forth. You're going to lay like this with your legs stacked. Then we're going to push off and open this top leg. So this top leg should be coming all the way off the ground. So it'll look like this. Kind of like if you've done like clamshells before, similar to that. But we're extending up. This leg and this hip should be off the ground. And you'll start to feel it in this bottom working leg. So just like that. And then to do it on the other side, same thing, lying on your side. The top leg always should be extending into the air. Like that. The last thing we'll do is just a plain old side plank. You can do this from your hand or from your forearm, whatever you would like. Just hold your side plank, try to stay nice and straight all the way through. And that is the end of week 6.